So today's a pretty crazy day for Samsung. The Galaxy Fold is making headlines because of display issues. This is my favorite one from Android Police. Breaking! Galaxy Fold review units are failing left and right with disastrous display issues. But then he starts off his article with 4 Samsung Galaxy Fold review units in the hands of major US tech journalists all experienced device-breaking display failures today. He goes on talking about left and right, making it sound like this is a widespread issue between thousands and thousands of devices. Then he starts off his article with 4 Samsung Galaxy Fold review units. Now listen, out of these 4 people, Steve Kovac, Mark Gurman, Dieter Bohn, and MKBHD, only 2 of them have legit display problems. Dieter Bohn and Steve Kovac experienced display issues that were out of their control. It just stopped working, it started malfunctioning, which does bring up some cause for concern. However, Mark Gurman and MKBHD decided to try to peel the display themselves because they thought it was a screen protector. Look, I get it, it kind of does look like a screen protector, but there's actually a message in the box that tells you not to remove that from the display. You know what, it's gonna happen. Curiosity does kill the cat, and I obviously saw it for myself, and I too thought it might be a piece of plastic that can be removed, but I decided not to touch it just in case it isn't. You have to remember, at the end of the day, this is a very thin piece of OLED, and you need something to protect it, and that's exactly what's over it right now. This is funny because it reminds me of the Galaxy Note 5 and when people were inserting the S Pen backwards. I was one of those idiots, so I understand that people are gonna try these things. The big issue though is that if consumers start doing the exact same thing, then that can cause a widespread problem. But then it begs the question on whether it's the user's fault or if it's Samsung's fault for not making their devices a little bit more user-friendly. Now look, this is not a widespread issue yet. You can't say 4 people who are having problems, or even 5, I read another article it was 5, that this is a widespread issue. Let's wait until these devices get into consumers' hands. Then if it becomes a problem, then we can have a more widespread discussion. The one thing I notice about the tech community, myself included, is that we're very passionate about the products we talk about. Whenever there's a minor little problem or a solution that may not work well, we make a video about it. The views are great because of it, and of course it brings controversy, which seems like a lot of people like. Now I'm all up for a great discussion on a display that might not be working, but I just think we need to take a step back and wait it out a little bit. Let's see what happens with consumers and not just depend on 4 or 5 tech journalists who might just have some prototypes or unlucky review units. Anyways, that wraps this up. This is a very thin display. It is possible things get stuck in the middle. My unit has been pretty solid. There are issues with the phone itself and other areas which might be more software related, but based on my experience so far, the display has actually been pretty solid. Anyway, stay tuned for more news. I'll report something else if this becomes more widespread. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.